In the book of Exodus, we see the children of Israel going through what I like to call an onboarding process. This onboarding process is meant to introduce them to God's both sovereignty and authority. Again, the onboarding process was to introduce the children of Israel, whom God had just delivered with his mighty right arm out of the captivity of Egypt, to his identity through first his sovereignty and secondly his identity through his authority. The lessons on sovereignty included the fact that Yahweh is the one and only true and living God. The book of Psalm chapter 24 states, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods." By virtue of being the creator of all things and all of us, God is both the CEO and founder of it all. And because of this, he has sovereign reign or solo reign of the entire universe. Thus, his sovereignty. The lessons on his authority included relearning the law of God, which I like to call the kingdom's constitution. See, most believers know God as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. But every king has a kingdom, and all kingdoms have governance, and all governance is undergirded by its laws. The kingdom's constitution is the King of Kings law that was already in practice well before God said, "Let there be light." See, in making man in his own image, God also made us in his governmental image, meaning that the kingdom of God is the blueprint for the kingdom of humanity. The dominion that God gifted to humanity was to be a carbon copy of the kingdom's constitution. And we, as dominionaires, being the kings and the lords that God is king of and lord of, were to rule this planet the same way that God rules in the heavenly kingdom. We can see this example in the Lord's Prayer when the Lord teaches the disciples to pray, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." Simply put, we are called to be dominionaires that mimic the kingdom of God. And just like at the end of time, God will separate the wheat from the tares, the wheat being the righteous who decided to learn the law, accept the law, and live the law, from the tares who were the wicked people who chose not to obey the law. God also separated those who refused to obey the law of God from those who would take up the law of God, learn from it, accept it, and live from it during the wilderness experience. Only law-abiding citizens will make it into the promised land. It was true then, and it is true now.